let's talk about the answers, the chapter review questions for the physical science, the Blue Physical Science book. So the first one you're supposed to answer is number 4. It says, when sugar is added to water, the sugar dissolves and the resulting liquid is clear. Do sugar and water form a pure substance, or do they form a mixture? Explain your answer. So I'm going to write number 4 right here. They form a mixture. And the reason why, they can be separated by physical means. And so what I mean by that is, all you have to do to separate them is evaporate off the water. And you don't have to go through a chemical reaction to separate sugar and water. So that's number 4. The next question. Number 8, it says, what is matter? Letter A says, any visible solid that has mass, any liquid that takes up space and has mass, anything that takes up space and has mass, any liquid is solid that takes up space. Well, we know that gases are matter too, so the best answer here is letter C. Okay, anything that takes up space and has mass. Number 10, which of the following is a mixture? The best example of a mixture here is air. Air is a mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide and a bunch of other gases, even water vapor is included in that. Salt doesn't work because it's a compound in HCl. Water is H2O. Sulfur is the pure substance, or I guess I should say it's an element on the periodic table. Number 11, compounds and elements are, the best answer here is pure substances. Compounds and elements are pure substances. Number 12, which of the following is an example of a physical change? If you melt ice cubes, it's still water. That's the best example. Burning paper changes the paper rusting iron, changes it to iron oxide. Burning gasoline, all those are chemical changes. Number 13, which of the following is a pure substance? Table salt is the only one on there that's a pure substance. Table salt is NaCl. Number 14, if you add oil to water and shake the liquid, you form, we're not really going to get into miscible liquids, so we're just going to say it's a heterogeneous mixture. So let's move on to the next page. (17, 18, and 19 are all about this graph. Number 17, what does the slope of each line represent? Well, the slope of each line is going to be mass divided by volume, which we know is density. Number 18, which has a greater density, silver or iron? Silver does. How do you know? Without doing calculation, it has a steeper line. So if it has a steeper line, it has a higher slope and therefore a higher density. What is the density of silver? Easiest way to find this is just to pick a number on the y-axis and intersect with the line, divide by that number on the x-axis. So it looks like right here, 80 is pretty close to intersecting 7. So 80, a mass of 80 has a volume of 7, so we can say m is equal to v times d, or 80 is equal to 7 times d, divide both sides by 7, and you get d is 11.4, approximately 11.4 grams per cubic centimeter. Then over to the last couple of questions. 24, 26, and 27. Let me make it so you can see them. So number 24, it says a piece of titanium metal has a mass of 67.5 grams and a volume of 15 cubic centimeters. What's the density of titanium? So m is equal to v times d. 67.5 is equal to 15 times d. Divide both sides by 15. and you end up with a density of 4.5 grams per cubic centimeter. So that's 24. 26 says the density of a piece of brass is 8.4 grams per cubic centimeter. If the mass of the brass is 510 grams, find the volume of the brass. It's the same equation, M is equal to V times D. 510 is equal to V times 8.4 grams per cubic centimeter. To get the 8.4 to the other side, you divide. And we get V is 60.7 cubic centimeters. If we're using significant digits here, we're going to have to round that to 61 cubic centimeters. cm cubed. That might be kind of hard to see. And then last one, 27. What mass of water will fill a tank that's 100 centimeters long, 50 centimeters wide, and 30 centimeters high? Express your answer in grams. So the first thing we have to do is find volume. Volume is length times width times height. So volume is 100 times 50 times 30, which is 150,000 cubic centimeters. And then we want to know what the mass of water is. So we're going to use this equation. M is equal to V times D. We know what the volume is. So M is equal to 150,000. The density of water is 1. So you get a mass of 150,000 grams as well. So in the next video, I'll do the stuff out of the other textbook.